Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Box Office Talk. This is the show where I break down what happened at the box office, see if my predictions for the top 5 are correct, and then make predictions for next week's top 5. Now before I go any further, you're probably all freaking out because this video did not go up on Sunday or Monday, and I can explain this. It's because the power went out at my house because Hurricane Matthew came to Virginia for a little while, and I've been without power. I'm currently home from school right now, but the power came on earlier this morning. That's great. It's time to do this video finally. So checking my predictions last week, I predicted that number 1 would be The Girl on the Train, number 2 would be The Birth of a Nation, number 3 would be Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life, number 4 being Miss Peregrines, Home for Peculiar Children, and number 5 would be Deepwater Horizon. And unfortunately, I only got 1 out of 5 of my predictions right this week, which is very upsetting to me because I've been doing alright recently, but you know what, that's fine. Let's go over what happened. Anyways, number 1 was The Girl on the Train. This weekend it made $24 million, and it's only $21 million away from its $45 million budget, so it'll probably get there in no time, which is alright. I've heard some mixed things about this movie, mostly negative. I still have a huge interest in seeing it, but due to the storm, I couldn't really go out and see any movies this weekend, but I still really do want to see it. I hear the marketing is the best part about the movie, which is technically not even a part of the movie at all, but hey, I'll see it at some point. Anyways, number 2 was Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, making $15 million this weekend, and that adds to a total of $51 million. So it's $59 million away from getting back to its budget on the domestic chart, but when you look at the worldwide chart, it already has made over its $110 million budget. It has a worldwide gross of $145 million, so it's actually doing very well worldwide. Is this enough money to guarantee the adaptation of the other installments of this series? I don't know about that, but it's definitely not a failure at all. In fact, it's not even that big of a failure here in America. It's doing better than some of the movies that have gotten released this year, at least. Anyways, number 3 was Deepwater Horizon, making $11 million this weekend, and that adds to a total of $38 million. It's still really struggling to have people come out to see it. Worldwide, it's getting a little bit closer to its $110 million budget. It's stuck at 65, but it still needs like about 50 million more on the worldwide chart and about 80 million more on the domestic chart. That's really disappointing. I've heard tremendous things about this film, and it's kind of sad seeing this really very well appreciated movie kind of get unnoticed. It's really sad, honestly, if you really think about it. But anyways, number 4 was The Magnificent Seven. This weekend it made $9 million, and that adds to a total of $75 million. It's $15 million away from its $90 million budget, and you know what? I think next week, or maybe 2 weeks from now, it'll probably get its budget back. Now, worldwide, it has $133 million, so it's doing very well. But I'm just saying here in America, I think give it a couple more weeks, and I think it'll be able to get its budget back. Will it be able to double its budget worldwide? Maybe. I'm not entirely sure about that. But anyways, number 5 was Storks. This weekend it made $8 million. It's getting a little bit closer to its $70 million budget. It has now a domestic total of $49 million, which is very close. It's about $21 million away from getting to that spot, even though worldwide it's gotten over $100 million, which I guess they can be proud of that. This isn't Warner Animation's highest animated movie or anything, because they have a couple, Happy Feet 2, and Lego Movie. I think I'm forgetting some, but it's not as popular as any of those movies, but it's doing alright on its own, since it's not a sequel or a Pixar-labeled film or anything like that, because those usually do tremendous. But anyways, number 6 was The Birth of a Nation. This weekend it made $7 million. Now, I wouldn't be too concerned about this, because mostly, like, these kind of movies, they don't really have a huge audience, because believe it or not, the topic of slavery and racism is a little uncomfortable to people. I know, a little shocking to believe, but its budget is only of $10 million. I checked Wikipedia, and it said its budget was $10 million, so hey, making only $7 million, it's only $3 million away from crossing that. That's still very good for the movie. I've heard some great things about it, so hopefully I can check it out at some point. Number 7 was Middle School, The Worst Years of My Life, only making $6 million this weekend, but it's only on a budget of $8.5 million, so it's definitely not a failure or anything like that, and I hear it's a decent movie, surprisingly. That honestly really caught me off guard, because the trailers for this film are absolutely horrendous, and I actually have the book. This is based off a book, or as I like to call it, a Diary of a Wimpy Kid knockoff that is actually good, apparently. I've read, like, the first couple chapters, and, it was good. I never got to finish it for some reason. I actually don't know why. But hearing that this movie is actually kind of decent, it has my interest a bit. I want to see how it turned out. I want to see how all movies turn out, but especially this one, because I had no anticipation going in. But maybe, I don't know. Anyways, number 8 was Sully. This weekend it made $5 million, and that adds to a total of $113 million. That's very good for this film, and if you check its budget only being on $60 million, it's only $7 million away from actually doubling that budget. So that's very good. Tom Hanks and Clint Eastwood and Aaron Eckhart's mustache, you're doing fantastic. Anyways, number 9 was Masterminds. This weekend it made $4 million, and that adds to a total of 12. And they actually finally put out a budget for this film on Wikipedia. Its budget is of $25 million. So it currently has a domestic total of $12 million. I can't really imagine this movie making $13 million more and being able to cross that number. The movie is not good enough, and it's definitely not getting the amount of money it needs to cross it. So, that kind of sucks for it, but not really, because it's pretty freaking terrible. But let's not dwell on that. But let's end it off with number 10 being Queen of Katwe, making $1 million, and it added to a total of $5 million. Now, it's $10 million away from its $15 million budget. But really, if you think about it, have you really noticed much marketing for this movie? Have you turned on the TV and noticed like a trailer or promo for this movie? I honestly haven't, so it honestly doesn't surprise me that it's not making as much as a usual Disney film does. But this is based on a true story Disney film, but it's not a remake of a classic cartoon or an adventure Disney movie. This is based on a true story Disney movie that went into a limited release, but now went wide with barely to none, I think, marketing, because I haven't seen anything for this movie, honestly. So honestly, it doesn't really surprise me that it's not a huge grosser, but it's making some money now, it's getting some attention, so that's very good. Anyways, now it's time for the fun part, the predictions for next week's top 5. I'm going to predict that number 1 will be The Accountant, number 2 will be The Girl on the Train, number 3 will be the Kevin Hart stand-up comedy thing, What Now? Because, I think Kevin Hart's popular enough. I think that has a chance to get up there. Then I'm going to say number 4 is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and this is risking it, but I'm going to say number 5 will be Max Steel. It is based off a TV show. I don't know how popular that TV show was, but it is based on it, and I've seen a couple commercials for it on TV, so maybe it'll get some attention. I don't think it'll be a big grosser, though. But what are your predictions for next week's top 5? Leave them in the comments below today. Do not wait until the weekend, because that makes me think you just looked at Box Office Mojo's predictions and left it there. But if you got your predictions right for this week, you're going to get a shout out right now. Unless you didn't get it right, then I'm sorry. And thank you all again for being patient for this video because of my power being out. And I just wanted to thank you guys for that. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.